right after Korean War, June 25th, all the people coming from the Seoul to Busan, and on the, like as you said, 51, 52, there's a lot of wounded soldiers because of the battle. But there's nothing else people, the country or people can do for these wounded soldiers. So maybe father thought of it. Okay, there was the musical groups from the Seoul, they came to the Busan, and there was a children's choir, KBS, Korea Broadcasting Companies. KBS children's choir were in Busan, and there was also the head of the children's choir is very famous. He's the one who composed the song 우리의 소원은 통일. That's our wish is unification of Korea. That is the one he composed. He was also director, the leader of the choir. And one day my mother asked me, son, why don't you join that Navy children's choir? So I joined it, and the main objective, main purpose was we are visiting the hospital, army hospitals. And I remember one day we visited US Armed Forces Hospital. I don't think it was a building, it was like a tent, big tent. And I saw wheelchair, people with no leg, some people. And I saw one guy, he was no more than maybe 18 years old. Very young, almost like I could call him brother. And he had crutches, had no one leg below the knee was gone. He had a wrap, something. And I saw him, and we started singing, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell. And we also sing, I've been walking on the rail. Let me tell you, I do not know what that means. We only memorized the whole songs, but I do not know what I've been walking on the railroad. I did not know. But we sing Danny Boys, we sing I've been walking on the railroad. And some Korean song. This brother, 18 years old brother, he was smiling and he's crying. And like when we sing Jingle Bells, he was smiling. And when we sing Danny Boy or Danny Boy, he was crying. So we all felt that
This is Bob. I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back, please? All right.
what did I say?
Danny Boy.
Jingle Bell.
And then this, like a young brother, he was crying, and then he's smiling. And I really felt it. If he sent my mother, what is their parents would think of? They would probably think of this young boy away and do not know whether he's alive or dead. And then this guy, young, already lost a leg. And I felt the pain of the war through this man also. And then 1954, 2 years later, the war is ended, 1953. And then 1954, as I said before, Korea per capita income is maybe $60, $70. And there's no way we can rebuild the Korea. So maybe the president of Korea, Syngman Lee, and the General Van Fleet, who was the general of the Korean 8th Army at the time. Now he was retired. At that time he was American Korean Foundation, President of American. So he and Gethsemane have agreed we got to do something to rebuild Korea. And one of the idea was, why don't we send this Korean Navy children's choir to the USA? So I guess that was accepted by the US and also the Korean government. And we, Korean Children's Choir, 1954, we flew to Korea, to Japan, to Hawaii, to San Francisco. Arrived in San Francisco. We stayed 3 months in USA. We traveled 45 cities in 3 months. We performed 240 times. And I did not know what was the main objective, but later found out. Main objective was raising $20 million. And when we arrived in New York, I don't know if people remember Ed Sullivan. He was very famous Ed Sullivan show in New York. We sang at Ed Sullivan show, and we visited many TV stations, radio stations, and then we come to hotel. People were waiting in a hotel. We sang in a hotel. But anyway, they raised a fund. From what I gather, they have achieved the $20 million objective. They said they more. And I really did not know how this fund was used later. Now, I guess about 6-7 years ago, mid-70s toward 80s, we were asked from Korea Broadcasting Company of an interview. And that interview, the 4 people still survived in that children's choir were there, and 3 girls and myself. They talked about 70 years ago, these children have visited, and the fundraising fund so it helped the Korean rebuild the economy. That was the title of the discussion. And then I knew what was the main objective and what was achieved through this. And if I think back, the President Park of Korea went to Germany, got a help from Germany. It was $37 million. But 10 years before that, 1954, if somebody had raised more than, let's say, $20 million, must have been a very big help to Korean economy. So I'm kind of proud that children's choir idea was created by the president and General Pamphlet, that both U.S. and Korea, to help to rebuild the Korea, and we became part of it. And I do sincerely appreciate the both and the leader of Korea and the leaders of USA that can happen. Thank you.